I was with my Gunga brothers. After a week I have returned, and this time for a match that is practically unwinnable. So we got nice Pokemon that I cannot break. I accidentally clicked there, sorry, but we got like Mono, I can't break this. We got Venusaur. If you look at Venusaur and look at my team, then look back at Venusaur, you see that Spread Venusaur walls every single Pokemon on my team slash beats it, in the case of Slowbro, outside of like Lopunny sort of, but it can just like poison it and run. Kinda doesn't really beat SD Excadrill sort of, but it can't switch in. Tornadus is the only Pokemon that can beat Venusaur, kind of. Then we got Pegs. Pegs also doesn't really molest me, but it walls a lot of Pokemon. Of course I have some mons that can break it, but Pegs does wall a lot of shit, like Rocky Helmet, Fit of Pegs just walls my Lopunny until the end of days. I mean, I have some mons that can break it, but Pegs is definitely an issue. Then Zygarde is a huge offensive issue. I'm basically forced into using Tangrowth, which forced into using Tangrowth or Clef, and yeah, I basically just get molested. Like, either I get molested by Banded Zygarde or I get molested by this variant of Zygarde. Zygarde can run so much, and the chance of it molesting me is about 100%. Then we got Salazzle, not that big of an issue. I have a Jagology. Then we got Kyurem. Kyurem, not the biggest of issues since I have Clef, but either I get molested by Banded Zygarde or I get molested by Kyurem. That's literally what I have to do. It's either like getting molested by Banded Zygarde or getting molested by Kyurem. But yeah, I chose to get molested by Banded Zygarde if he wants to bring that, because if he has Iron Tail, he can beat my Clef anyway. Then he has Meowstic, not that big of a threat, but he can set up Veil, I mean double screens, so his other Pokemon are even more unkillable and can just set up. Kartana is also quite an issue. I don't really have counterplay to it outside of revenge killing. Chansey, again, walling everything on my team. Very delicious. Alola Persian, not that big of an issue, it's not going to bring that. And Lola Golem is same, not that big of an issue. But from this, you can see that this matchup is, unless he chokes, I play amazingly, or I just like completely out-prep him, is completely unwinnable. So we have Clefable right here to provide some Wish support and some Stealth Rock support. Yeah, Stealth Rock support is going to be super nice. If he has like Defog, Feedog, Tarna, then I kind of get up my rocks, but honestly don't really care. I can just get up my rocks on some mons on his team. Then we got Mega Lopunny, who is probably going to be the only Pokemon that's able to get kills. So we have Lopunny in there with that Encore to stop any Pokemon like Toxapex if they don't have the Rocky Helmet, so it does not even beat me one-on-one Nick. I can just pop up on it. Then we got Docker Pranks right here. This is also going to be a breaker. Nice Taunt Sub, Sky Plates. We got Knockoff for the Chansey, so it can't really wall everything anymore. We got Electros with that Lumberry on deck. This is for the Pex, I guess. It's like one of my Pex switches. I have that Lumberry on deck, because it can just switch into a status condition move. It's also like Gligar switching, sort of. Yeah, Electros is just there. Then we got AV Jagology to deal with the Salazzle problem. Salazzle just molests my entire team if I don't pack Jagology or Slowbro with a AV, because otherwise it can just go in. This can also help versus the Mega Venusaur, although if it is Spit F, it cannot break it. And the last Pokemon on the team will be the Liepard with T-Wave and Taunt, just like to provide a win con. So I'm just going to keep this short. Let's just dive right into this battle. Normally that takes 10 minutes, but since this matchup is unwinnable, we're just going to dive right into it. So going into the battle, we see that he brings a very interesting team. He does not bring his Venusaur or Toxapex, and keep in mind this is most definitely my opponent. So he kind of gets molested by Lopunny, so I just decide to lead off with that. He leads off with Persian. My Lopunny is already Mega Evolved due to the power of my friendship with this Pokemon. So I just hard Power Punch on the Kyurem, and I can basically just claim a kill here because he does not really have switch-ins for this. So I Power Punch on the Kyurem. So basically I just snatch up a kill here. He goes into Gligar thinking that's a counter. Then he kind of makes a cool play. He goes hard into Alolan, but he thinks he can bluff the Scarf, but I know Scarf does not outspeed my Lopunny. So that fails. I claim the second kill turn 4. So he goes hard into Chansey, and then doubles to Gligar. Now I just Power Punch on the Gligar. Does some chip right there. I think I just return as he expertly predicts that and goes Kartana. So he is kind of playing me, I cannot lie. I'm kind of getting outplayed. So I just hard Power Punch knowing that it's not Scarf, because I'm a fucking beast incarnate. So I Power Punch the Gligar again. I knew that was not Scarf due to the damage. I just calc that, and I knew that was not Scarf. So it goes at Chansey. I kind of switch out because I'm kind of scared of the Scarf Chansey right there. He doubles to Kartana. Now here I have to switch out force like on the Steel move. So I go into my Steel Resist Jagology. I go back into Clefable as he Healing Wishes up his Kartana, which was like pretty pretty cool play. So here he defogs for next game, which is that's a pretty solid play, as I set up my rocks for next game. So we both just make sure we win the next game. So that is because I already won at this point, and here he has already lost. So he's just making sure he's defogged for the next game, which is a play I can get. Like, I think that was his best possible play, and I just got up my rocks for next game. Okay, I can't keep this up. But yeah, the actual replay is gonna be down in the description if you guys want to watch that. I'm not going over 50 or whatever turns it was of me not being able to break his fat lads. He didn't even bring stall or anything. He just like obliterated me. I didn't even play that well because like I didn't really care because I knew I lost anyway. Should have definitely played a bit better. But now the video is 5 minutes, so let's dive right into something else. And that something else would be this team. So you see that this is not the team I had originally. This is a edited team because I just kind of had enough of this like X-Cajole bullshit. I just went to switch over to something new. Because I don't know, I just don't think my team just has that breaking power if they have a mod that can wall up me. I just don't think my old team just had that breaking power. So I went with a huge breaker in Landers Incarnate without Sheer Force, because otherwise it would be too broken. It only has Sand Force, but that could still be a thing with Gigalith here. Because if I get that Sand Force plus that Gigalith, oof, who's switching? Who is switching in? That's just like Sheer Force basically, only the ass edition. But Landorus I is one of the best Pokemon, even without the what's it called, the Sheer Force. So basically, if you look at my team, what I wanted to make the changes is to like get rid of the fact that I only have a few defoggers. I have enough rockets, but I only have a few defoggers, and then at the end I just decided to like say fuck it and just go defogless. And you know, it might sound completely horrible, and it kind of is. I really want to change some things, but I just didn't have the trades. You only get like 3 trades. I already wasted one before the thing even started trying to get the Tornadus. But yeah, I only had 2 trades. Luckily, Neomon helped me out right there. Good, big shout out to you. But yeah, he helped me out right there. Gave me one of his trades. It's kind of complicated, but like essentially he gave me one of his trades so that I could make 3 trades here. But still, it is like I'm going defogless. My only defogger is Landers. So if he has some webs or some bullshit like that, or if he has like Hazard Stack, I can bring defog Landers. But if he doesn't have that, I'm probably just gonna go defogless all the time. I have the Clear Body Metagross, which can help out with that. I kind of thought about that as well. I got that Clear Body on deck. And yeah, mostly my team's just gonna be quite thick and quite disgusting. I also like one of my fast Pokemon already has the Prankster, so you can prank T-Wave, and one of my other fast Pokemon is a Flying type. So if he has Sticky Webs, it doesn't really matter that much. If there's T-Spikes, most of my team is not affected by T-Spikes actually. If you look at this team, the only 3 defensive Pokemon really affected are Slowbro, Gigalith, and Tangrowth, and I have a T-Spike remover, so it's a really good T-Spike remover as well. And my team isn't really that rock weak either. My only rock weak Pokemon on the team now is the Docker Duck, the McMortar, which I swapped out for the Simisear. Let's start by talking about that, because I still had a 3rd trade that I got from Neomon. Again, big shout outs. And I realized that it's kind of bad because Simisear has the same speed stat as Lando, so I didn't want 2 Pokemon the same speed tier. It just kind of sucks. Originally I had the Tornadus Incarnate, which has 10 speed more than Lando and Simisear. So I just swapped them out for McMortar because McMortar is the better Pokemon. It hits harder on the special side. It's way fatter. It's a bit slower, which is fine. It creates a new speed tier for me to work with in the 80s. So, like, overall, McMortar is the better Pokemon. I get some good coverage as well. I get, like, Dual Chop. I can use Z Dual Chop with the Z move I have. It says the Fire Room Z, but it can be any Z move. But yeah, it gets some cool moves. It gets like fighting moves here. It gets Earthquake. It gets obviously a whole shit ton of fire moves. Like, look at all this coverage. Obviously it gets the hidden powers coming off that base 125 special attack. It gets a psychic coverage, which is kind of cool. It gets T-Bolt. It gets both Toxic and Will-O-Wisp. Obviously every single Pokemon gets Toxic, but okay. It gets that Taunt. It gets that S-Toss. I don't know why you would really need S-Toss, but it does get Taunt, it does get T-Bolt, it gets some cool coverage like that. Then down here, it even gets Belly Jump, so that could even be a cool thing, like Z Belly Jump, McMortar, with coming off that still quite impressive, almost 100 attack stat. So that could still be a cool thing. And just thinking about it, I honestly think McMortar is the better Pokemon over Simisear. And it's also a Pokemon I like more. And Simisear didn't even come once. I doubt McMortar will probably come like 1 or 2 times during the entire season, but still. it's still nice. So I swapped out the Tornadus for a Metagross. So the spirit of Dockerage kind of died. The Docker pranks died out, but I had to name the McMortar Docker Doug because I have to have Dockerage on the team. No Dockerage means no wins. So we got this Metagross on deck as well. Cerebro the Metagross. I didn't want to name it something like super cheesy and cliche like Professor X or Magneto or some bullshit like that. Cerebro is kind of a bad nickname, but you know, we'll roll with that. I spent like 10 minutes thinking, and I was like, yeah, I've had enough. But this mon has some juicy priority here. It has that killer body. It has amazing stats. This mon has powerful stats. It has a new speed tier from my team in 70. My team didn't have that speed tier before. Because originally my team had a gap. It had Fable at 60, then Excadrill at 88, and it didn't have any speed tiers between those two. So any Pokemon that was between those two could just run Modest. They could just run a lot of HP investment, and I kind of hated that. So we pull up with that Metagross right there. Nice Pokemon. It gets some Explosion. It gets Rocks. It gets a lot of coverage in shit like Grass Knot, Hammer Arm. Like Psychic and Steel, obviously nice dual stab. It gets Ice Punch. It gets Shadow Ball, Signal Beam. This is like some bullshit that every single Psychic type gets for some reason. It gets like some weird coverage, I guess, and it gets a lot of tech moves. It also gets like Trick and everything, and it gets Rocks. Although I already have enough Rockers. I have like a 1, 2, 3, which is not that great. So now we have a 4th Rocker right here. That kind of makes up for the fact that we don't have a Defogger, but that would mean we would have a Rocker that beats the opposing Defogger almost 100% of the time. So that's going to be quite nice. And I just think, because I want to swap out the Excadrill for the, I want to swap out the Excadrill for the Landorus, but then I lose a Steel type, so I had to add a Steel type, and that would be the Metagross. I think this is like a perfect trade. The only problem here is that this mon is weak to Dark and Ghost. I'm saying a lot because I honestly don't know, but because I'm bad, I guess, because I haven't fucking recorded for 10 years. So the Ghost weakness and Dark weakness are kind of fixed by Lopunny, not really. Both are resisted by the Liepard, which can hit them for super effective damage with a U-turn or a Dark move respectively. So I think it's not that bad that it's another weakness to those two types. I think it's still a super cool Pokemon. It can outspeed a lot of shit with the Scarf as well, which can be some tech coming out, that huge attack stat. And it's a pretty good wall in both sides as well with the AV or just with Bulk. Now let's talk about the main Starter Turtle. Let's talk about Continental, the fucking beast. This is an ultimate beast. It has like Z move. It can blow away everything. It got Bulk Up. It got Calm Mind. It got Defog, the only Defogger on the team, which is really sad. It got that Rocks. It has that double ground coverage coming off these juicy, delicious stats. It has that good speed tier, which is, but like, it's able to outspeed all these pesky base 100s. It gets that boom. It can just boom on your ass. It gets that Psychic. It gets that Focus Blast. It gets that Grass Knot. It gets Outrage. It gets Z Outrage. You can just blow someone away with that. It gets Knockoff. It gets Rock Polish in setup. It gets Super Power. It gets all this wacky shit. It gets Sludge Wave. It gets SD. So you have SD and CM for setup. You have U-turn for momentum, you have Rocks, you have Defog, you have all this coverage. This Landorus is definitely one of the top tier Pokemon because it just gets this coverage. And I know it doesn't have the sheer force, so it doesn't have the explosive power coming off attacks like Earth Power and Sludge Wave, but still, it's still so powerful, especially if you can get an SD or CM up. It can definitely rip through teams. It has a triple setup opportunity, and you can even run something like Z-Fly because it does have the Z move attached to it. So if there's a nasty grass type, you can bop it away with Z-Fly coming off that huge attack stat right here, because its attack stat is actually better than its special attack, but people use that as special attacker obviously because of sheer force, Earth Power, and all of that. It probably gets some like tech moves in here, like Punishment. If they have like some like Psychic or Ghost type trying to set up, you can just punish them. It gets a lot of cool moves, and this is a Pokemon that's super hyped to use. This is a Pokemon that's gonna lead the kill charge. This Pokemon's gonna dominate everything, and I'm glad to not have this fucking Excadrill on my team anymore, because I was kind of done with that Pokemon. And I know I lose the speed, and this doesn't even gain me that much speed, but it gains me some better speed tiers, which in my opinion is more important, and it loses me the Sand speed control, but I honestly don't care. I want to swap out this for Deontay, but in the end, I just decided against this because Gigalith is a bit thicker. Gigalith can be super slow if they have like a Trick Room team or something. That could be super nasty for them. It has a really high attack stat plus that Edgequake combination, and just has a lot of coverage, which Deontay doesn't have. Deontay is super cool as well, but that would just add another Steel type weakness to the team. And the team kind of covers that sort of, but not really. I mean, it kind of covers that with Shelly, nice thick. But yeah, I just didn't really feel Deontay over Gigalith. I had like one main reason, but I kind of forgot it because I'm a bad user. But yeah, Fairy Rock is also cool coverage, Fairy Rock plus Earth Power, but I just don't know. I wasn't really feeling the Deontay. Gigalith is better, and the main reason why I did it is so I could swap out Simisear for Docker Duck, the fucking legend. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and it's still kind of long because I just kept rambling on about 3 changes, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, even though I just got pounded. If you saw the replay in the description, don't have to. I got smashed 5-0. I got 1 kill. Shout out to my girl Lapini, who killed the Pex. Shout outs. But yeah, I just got throttled. The replay was kind of like a skit I did with my boy Dennis, because I can't challenge myself because I'm locked. But yeah, shout out to Dennis if you're watching this for helping me perform that skit. But yeah, we got pounded. We're coming back versus JC Killer next week. We're gonna molest his ass with the new Landers, with the new Metagross, with the new. I'm bringing all 3 because I don't even care. I'm even bringing the Docker Duck. I do not care. I just want to show off these mons. So yeah, JC is gonna get molested next week. So you'll see that. And if I lose, I'm gonna be a sad lad. So yeah. I didn't upload in a week, which is quite sad, but I think it's only 6 days. It's not officially a week. But yeah, it is kind of sad because I was pumping out that every single second day content, but I'll return to that. But I just hate ladder, and if you play on ladder, you might have a bit, you might have like 1 or 2 chromosomes too much. Yeah, probably.